that is exciting for sure. Now, moving on to the salary cap mode, guys. This is a big one.
Yeah, this is the big one right here.
This is very exciting. So they got rid of limited, which I will say I was a huge fan of limited mode.
Right.
And I'm not upset that they got rid of it. Yeah. Okay. Because this is better to me.
Yep.
They also got rid of draft. Draft sucked. Nobody liked it. I think we can all agree. Very few people liked it. If you did, sorry.
Right.
Salary cap mode. This is going to be cool because it's going to take the best of what draft offered and limit it. And now it's in salary cap mode. So essentially how this is going to work, guys, is that it's going to be like real basketball. Like you're actually building a team here.
Right.
So if I'm playing in salary cap mode, I can't have all the best players on my team to compete against other teams, right?
Right.
Because I would be way over the salary cap. So you have to build your team, again, based on salary. So it's just like real sports.
Yeah.
So basically, you're not going to have super teams you're playing against because that would never work if you actually had to pay these players, right?
Yeah. And Steve, we were talking about this backstage. For somebody who's not as big of a MyTeam player as you are, this really intrigues me. And I'm not just saying that because we're recording this video. It's true. Like this makes me actually want to jump into MyTeam and play it because I feel like it sort of evens the playing field a little bit, keeps things fresh, interesting, and maybe in a fun way, challenging. Because again, salary cap, you are just limited to so much you can do. You got to build your roster with so much cap and everything. And it keeps they keep trying new things, man. I can't repeat that enough. And that when you first told me about that, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm listening now. This is what is interesting about MyTeam this year.
Absolutely. This is definitely, I would say, the most exciting new mode to MyTeam is the salary cap. And it really helps to maintain a level playing field across the board for everyone.
Right.
To where skill is going to prevail. You're not going to prevail because you have all the best players on your team that you paid for. You're going to prevail based on who has the most skill and will to win the game. So that's what competing is all about. All right, so guys, this salary cap mode, again, it's a new multiplayer mode. And this type of mode does have a history in MyTeam, but this is definitely like a new iteration, a new take on it. This is hopefully the perfected version of the salary cap mode. And so this is going to work in a very interesting way. So each season, it says the salary cap will be split into 3 2-week rounds. Each round comes with its own leaderboard, salary limit for lineups, and rewards. So starting off the season, the salary limit might be, say, 15 million, right? And you might get into the second week round and it might be 20 million. You might get into the third week, it might be 5. They might lower it. They can do whatever they want, right? We have to play by the rules that they set for us. So it's going to be very exciting to see how 2K decides to be creative here, because with limited mode, they were able to be creative by telling us like what gem colors we could use, right?
Right.
This is a whole different level. Strategy is going to definitely play a factor here. Your basketball knowledge is going to play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if there's a pool of 50 players that are all getting paid the minimum salary, and all 50 of these players, and say maybe one of them's a guy like, I don't know, Tony Allen, right? And you look at his offense, you say, oh, he's not a great shooter, right? But if you know basketball, that he's going to be
on defense.
That's right. He's going to be a defensive stopper.
Long wingspan.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So if you pick him up on your team, you're going to be able to get a guy for a low price that can be a defensive stopper. Now, this does work both ways, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because say I pick him out. This is like my budget guy, right? And then say everybody else starts doing it. Everyone else is saying, I'm going
I
to get
want
this.
Tony Allen. I
I'm
want
going
this
to get
card.
this
I want
cheap.
that card. Yep.
That's right. 2K is going to see that.
Yep.
And they're going to look at that algorithm and say, hey, we got this guy, Tony Allen. We have him as a minimum player, minimum salary, but everybody's using him.
Yep.
We have to raise the salary on him. And it states right in here that they're going to actually do that.
Yep.
So it's going to be changing. It's going to be like a stock market, guys.
Yep.
Like if everyone's buying the Tony Allen stock, they're going to raise the price on Tony Allen stock, right?
Exactly.
Naturally. So it's going to be very cool. It's going to change a lot.
You know what?
The whole season.
You know what it kind of reminds me of too is like when you're on Instagram or Twitter and you see one of those, like you have $15, pick these players off like $1 budget, $2 budget. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you
what
only
it
have
$15
or $20 to build a certain. I love it, man. That's so
funny because
cool.
I was thinking about that too. Because anytime I see those on Instagram or Twitter or Reddit,
wherever,
it's always interesting to me, and I always look at it and think, yeah, you know what? I'll play this game.
For real.
I'll drop a comment on what lineup I would use.
It's fun, man.
It is fun, but now we have it in the game, and it's an actual mode.
Yep.
It's gonna have leaderboards and prizes. So,
and guys, real quick, if there's a reason to play MyTeam, in my personal opinion, this is it right here. But again, there's all these other game modes which we've gone over and are still going over, but this is a sort of a game changer in my personal opinion.
I agree. I think this is a game changer. And if this is like your first time coming to MyTeam, or maybe you've been a MyTeam player who plays offline only, which there's plenty of MyTeam players out there that do that. If you're thinking about dipping your toes in the online waters and diving in here, man, this is the mode to do it in. Right here is the salary cap mode, because again, it's a level playing field, and that's going to be fun. It's all going to come down to who's actually the better player, not who has the better team. But there will be knowledge factored into it too. Like we said, if you know these players and you can spot out a guy who has a low salary, but you know he's worth more, you're going to be at an advantage. So again, knowledge is going to play a factor here too. Something that's super interesting, guys, which again, Brandon and I, we talked about it. We've not seen this before, but salary cap games will be played in a brand new format, never before seen in 2K. So you're going to utilize a 2-half game setup where you will compete in the first half in a regular 6-minute period. You're going to try to build the biggest lead you can, and then at halftime, the game changes to a fixed score ending. And if this sounds familiar, it's because it is familiar. That's what they do in the All-Star game.
Yep.
Right? And that's fun, right? I mean, do you enjoy that aspect of it, Brandon?
Absolutely. Like, go back, you guys, and just look at the past couple All-Star games. Just the body language in general, how intense that final quarter is, because you're trying to get to like 24 points or whatever it is. That's intense. I love how they're adding that into this mode of the game. I wonder if there'll be other game modes where they sort of add that in there. But that is, for somebody like me, that's huge. That's a good factor to add in.
This is really cool. I like it a lot. And they even said, similar to how the recent All-Star game ends, 24 points is added to the leading score at the half. And the first team to reach that target score gets the win.
That's so cool.
And from what I gather here, they actually play tested this over the summer.
Nice.
And the feedback on it was excellent. So I got to imagine the people who were play testing it were the game testers and, of course, the YouTube 2K community. So super exciting. Very much looking forward to that. Now, with that said, now that limited and draft is gone, there's going to be 2 modes that you can play online multiplayer with a full lineup. And that's going to be salary cap and unlimited. So of course, unlimited will return. That is the main mode as far as competitive 2K players go that are super competitive. You play in unlimited, and it's exactly what it sounds like, guys. It's unlimited. You run whatever lineup you want outside of the position locks. That's the only thing that you have to take into account, is that you have position locks, which is good, right? because you don't want Manute Bol playing point guard, right? Nobody wants that. So another thing that changed, guys, if you're familiar with the limited mode, every week you have to play by the limited requirements. But what's changed is how you win your championship ring every week.
Yeah.
So as mentioned, in previous years, you played the door game to seek out the ring. But in 2K24, rings will be available in new championship weekends and unlimited.
Nice.
So no opening doors for rings here.
Right.
You basically put your best lineup to the test each weekend and compete against the MyTeam community, and you have to get 4 wins in 7 games. So basically, you have to win a 7-game series.
Yep.
Right? So that's super exciting because I was telling Brandon before, I said, man, I've played limited mode where I might get 10 wins in a row. And I open up the door and the ring is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Every time. So it's like I don't know how many hours I may have to allocate to NBA 2K to get my limited ring.
This gives you like a chance though, right?
It does, because just going off that formula.
Yep.
The last time I played limited was a couple weeks ago, and I won well over 10 games, and no ring came up.
So they addressed that pretty much to the best they could.
Exactly. So if I would have won the 10 games with this formula, I mean, I would have got the ring after the 4th game.
Right.
So this is great. This is going to save people a lot of time, remove a lot of guesswork about how long you're going to have to do this. Like, what's my time commitment here? So I do appreciate that 2K kind of take a look at that and is going to respect our time, especially on the weekend, because it is the weekend. Sometimes we got things we got to do, right?
Yep.
So very nice. I like that a lot. Last year, they introduced the Triple Threat Online co-op mode, which allowed you to link up with 1 or 2 of your friends, join the same lobby, and you can run your team, your 3, against anybody else. And that was very fun. That was really cool. The only thing is that your friends may not always be able to play, or you may not have friends that play 2K, right? They may not play 2K. I can't tell you how many times I saw on the MyTeam Twitter group or the Reddit group posts trying to recruit people to play on their team for Triple Threat Online co-op. And the reason why is because there's separate rewards for co-op.
Right.
So there's Triple Threat Offline, there's Triple Threat Online, and there's Triple Threat Online co-op. Each mode has different rewards. So you had the co-op mode and nobody was getting rewards for it because probably 5% of the MyTeam community actually played it. So now when you want to play co-op, you basically play like you play any other online match, and they will pair you up with teammates like they do. And you mentioned in the My Career mode, right?
Yep.
So that will be very cool. Now everybody will be able to play the Triple Threat Online co-op, and you may even make some new friends out of it. Who knows? Another thing that is super cool that I'm looking forward to is quitting. I'm not talking about quitting playing NBA 2K, guys. I'm talking about
quitting.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what. Like there will be times when I'm playing 2K and I could be playing for an hour online. And I may have went through 15, 20 games because everyone keeps quitting after the first quarter.
Yep.
And it's annoying for me because if you don't get to the end of the game, you don't get your MyTeam currency. You don't earn any points. So 2K is addressing that, thankfully. And they say right here, with MyTeam point earnings becoming more important, as well as earning round and season points in salary cap and unlimited modes, players who decide to quit early in games can find themselves temporarily restricted from multiplayer modes after multiple quits.
So, Steve, in English, that pretty much means don't quit or you will be punished for it. Literally.
Yes.
And you know me, Steve, I play a lot of games. I know you play a lot of games. This This is for all the rage quitters and all the people who try to cheese the game, try to cheese the system or run around the system. This is dedicated to you guys. You know what I mean? It's like, play the game, finish the game, win or lose, you'll get rewarded. Just don't quit, because then they'll punish you and you won't be able to play online.
Guys, this is great. Like,
this is great.
This is consequences for quitting.
Yep.
Now, let me put this in real life terms, okay? If you're at the gym playing 5-on-5, right? And you decide to just walk off the court and quit because you guys are playing to 15 and you're down by 5 points and you're going through your head saying, I don't think
this game's over.
I don't think we can win, man. I'm just gonna walk out. Screw it.
Yep.
What's gonna happen? You know, they can't stop me from walking out. Well, I'll tell you what, the next time you come to the gym to play, nobody's gonna pick you up.
Yep.
So,
that dude literally walked out on us.
That's right.
When we were playing a game we could have won.
So that's real life consequences. That's what would happen in real life.
Yeah.
You can quit, but no one's going to pick you up next week. No one's going to pick you up the next time you show up. And here, we have consequences in game. If you quit, you're not going to be able to play anymore online.
Yep. You know, people are going to try it too. You know, there's going to be people out there that are going to try to quit, and then all of a sudden they're going to get not banned, but punished for it.
Yeah, so this is very exciting that they're going to address this. I'm very happy. They even mentioned that there's too much on the line when playing multiplayer, and early quits only hurt the experience for the MyTeam community. And I will say this too, Brendan and I talked about this before backstage, is that people shouldn't quit early, okay? Because when you do stuff like that, you never get to experience the highs of coming back from being down by a lot of points, the gratification that you get from competing.
Yep.
That's part of competition, is saying, you know what? I'm getting my ass kicked right now, but I'm going to find a way to win. I'm going to find a way to prevail. Or maybe you're getting your butt kicked and you say, hey, you know what? I probably don't have a chance of winning, but this guy I'm playing is really good. And I'm going to watch what he's doing. I'm going to try and figure out how to do this the next time I play somebody. That's how you learn. That's how you get better in life. Not just at video games, but in life as well. So this is cool stuff right here.
I know some people don't like moral victories in basketball or in sports, but that sounds like a moral victory, and I support that. I like that.
It is. I love moral victories. So absolutely, this is great. Another thing about playing online too, guys, this is a really fun one. Like I did not expect 2K to do this at all. So in improving the online experience, they even mentioned that sometimes your opponents can get a little bit too creative when it comes to their custom court. Guys, I have played games online where I'm the away team. So I'm in the other team's arena. I'm on their court. And the court makes your eyes bleed. They might do like a neon yellow court, and they might make the 3-point line like a soft yellow, so you can't even see the 3-point line. They make horrible courts
to try to psych you out before you're playing and during the play,
because their eyes are attuned to their court because they play on it all the time. But for you playing it for the first time,
you're like, whoa,
it is blinding. It's so 2K addressed this, which is so cool.
Good job.
Now
2K.
Turn it off. You can turn off the custom assets. So if you play against a team and you're like, dude, this court is horrible, I can't even see the 3-point line. Like it's blinding. You can turn it off.
Thank goodness. Because again, Steve, we're talking about it. One person always seems to ruin it for everybody else. This is a great way of listening to the community, defending the players who want a fair fight, if you will. And that's a good choice on 2K's part. I'm sure they got lots of complaints about that too.
They probably did, but in just talking about this right now with you, this goes hand in hand with the quitting. Because people would play. They'd see a team's court and they're like, dude, I ain't playing. Like, this is stupid. Boom. I quit. Not because I can't beat you, not because you have a super team, but because
I literally can't see, or it's too distracting or blinding, or just
Exactly. So this is great.
That's hand in hand with the quitting thing.
Exactly. it just tells me that 2K really thought things through. They really went to the drawing board, took the feedback, and said, okay, how can we fix this?
For real.
And so they did.